have received a lot of information, so I'm going to do a quick recap before we move on. You just heard from Major Jones in our police department, and crime is on the decline, which is amazing. And then the next Citizens Police Academy is October 31st at 6 p.m. From our fire department, we know now of the fire burn notice that is in effect and about changing the batteries in our smoke detectors. And if you have any questions, you can give them a call and they are glad to assist and or come to your home for assistance. We learned from HR that there are a lot of jobs that are available in the city. And with all the great things that are going on, I don't know why you don't want to come work for us. And then Public Works, we learned October 7th is our clean sweep. Bring all of your stuff and your ID to prove that you are a resident. And for details, you could call City Hall or check our, okay, so I forgot to highlight economic development and all the activities that we have going on. And what I'm really excited about is the film industry initiative that we're going to continue to move forward with, and the small mid-sized business forums and luncheons that we're going to resume. I think those are definitely very helpful. But one thing with planning and community development, I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for people to get the zoning verification done up front. We've had people who purchased property and went and then did the zoning verification, and it did not come out in their favor, and it doesn't make for a win-win situation. So we want all investors who are interested in Forest Park for it to be a win-win. And then they also have a concierge model that will be rolling out really soon, in which when an investor comes to the table, he or she is meeting with every department in unison. So everyone's sitting at the table, they're going to hear the same thing, they're going to walk away with the same information, and everyone's going to have their next steps of action. I think that will help minimize confusion and just keep everyone accountable. So I'm excited about that. And then the block parties with code enforcement are wildly successful, and they're growing with each ward. And I think Ward 3 is up next, but your representative will send out information if you are on their contact list. And if not, you can look to the city's website to get that information. And so I look forward to that every year. And then I had no idea about the great things that the Atlanta United soccer team and the clinics that they're putting on in Forest Park. So thank you so much for that and bringing that to our community.
Good afternoon, everyone. The City of Forest Park is hiring for some wonderful positions. The Chief Executive Office is hiring a procurement assistant. The Police Department is looking for a court clerk 1. We're also looking to hire a planner 1 in the Planning and Community Development Department. We are looking for a council aide, and that would be in the Chief Executive Office. The Police Department is hiring a staff assistant. Recreation and Leisure is looking to fill a maintenance worker senior position. Public Works has a mechanic position open, also a trade specialist position. They're also looking to hire a street foreman. The Finance Department has a wonderful position open. It's called the Director of Finance. The Public Works Department has a fleet foreman position open. The Fire Department is hiring firefighter EMTs and also firefighter paramedics. We're looking for police officers. And we're also looking in the Police Department to hire a management analyst grants position. We're also looking for a 911 operator, and the Public Works Department has a position open for a heavy equipment operator. If you're interested in applying for any of these positions, please log on to our website, which is www.forestparkga.gov. Click on Departments, Human Resources, and then click on Job Opportunities. Once you see that the position that you're interested is open, you can click Apply Now, and that will create an account. Thank you, and send anyone that's interested in looking for a job our way. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you. So for September 2023, we've got some incredible, exciting things going on in the Office of Economic Development. First and foremost, we have identified 9 properties, development opportunities, and have drafted RFPs. So the RFPs will be going out hopefully within the next 3-ish days, and are looking to have a pre-bid conference where we're bringing in developers to answer questions, showcase our properties. Most of the properties are showcased here along Forest Parkway, Main Street, in that corridor. But it really positions us in a great opportunity to highlight what we have here in the city of Forest Park, and most importantly, what we're looking for. We have met with 3 residential developers on Main Street properties specifically, and also a developer on a proposed senior living facility for Robin Lane. We have met with the Aerotropolis CID on the expansion of the community improvement district here in Forest Park. You may remember this was on the table a couple of years ago, didn't get a whole lot of traction. So we're now back at the table, have a new and improved strategy and approach, and are very excited about presenting that CID, having that expand here to Forest Park. We also, mayor and council, our City Hall executive staff and the Economic Development Department, as well as Planning and Community Development, took a tour of the Trilith studio a couple of weeks ago. And so coming out of that, are looking at what our opportunity is for the remaining properties that we have out at Fort Gillum. We have no desire to be Trilith, though it's fabulous. We don't want to be Trilith. We want to be Forest Park and Fort Gillum. However, what that is leading us to look into is, of the remaining properties that we still have available at Fort Gillum, creating a master plan overlay. So there is some synergy around the properties that are remaining, and what is it that we can do, whether that's industrial, maybe retail, probably not going to be residential at Fort Gillum, but most definitely looking at a residential expansion or recreation out at Weary Housing. In addition to the railroad bridge. If you remember, there was a railroad bridge, I think, is that Moreland? Bruce, is it Moreland where that railroad bridge is? Yeah. So looking at the bridge right now, it currently goes nowhere, but looking to see if there's an opportunity for us to do a public-private partnership around some public art, and how we potentially revitalize that, do some kind of public art, spruce it up, and eventually connect it to, again, this master plan overlay that we're talking about, that connects to parks and a trail system out at Fort Gillum. As part of our business engagement strategy, Director Abraham and I have been visiting our large employers in the area. We started with Clorox and met with them a few weeks ago, which was a great opportunity. We are looking to go back. They are doing an expansion and a renovation of the front part of their building. And once they're complete, which should be in the next couple of weeks to a month, we'll look to have mayor and council come out to do a ribbon cutting, at least for the front part of their building. But it also put us in a great position to be able to hear and, most importantly, address what some of their business needs are. We also met with our police department and Fort Gillum on the integration of security cameras. So businesses, but most importantly, doing a new business welcome strategy. So we had a meeting with our business license department earlier in the week, and kind of just getting an understanding of the process flow of how new business licensing happens and what happens after they get their business license. And what I found very quickly is that we're kind of at a deficit because we don't have a welcome out, roll out the red carpet to our new businesses when they're coming into our city. So we will start doing that within the next 30 days or so, of at least monthly, putting together a welcome pack for all of our new businesses coming into the city. In addition to that is a strategy to collect optional minority information on our businesses. One of the things that's a challenge for us, as you know, this is Hispanic Heritage Month. Last month was Black Business Month, and we were honored to recognize 10 of our businesses here in the community. We're going to do the same thing on October 2nd for our Hispanic businesses. But one of the challenges that we have is that we don't capture that information. And so it's really kind of a robbing Peter to pay Paul to try to figure out who are our businesses. And so what we've worked out with our business licensing department is coming up with an optional sheet that basically check the box. What is your minority status? It's optional. If they want to tell us, that's great. But it helps us tremendously as we have these ongoing business recognition programs here in the city that we have an easy way to recognize our businesses. It also helps us and also will help our businesses if there is a potential to partner with the county around the MWBE status for businesses. Finally, we are relaunching the Forest Park Business Association. There will be a quarterly meeting. We're looking to do the first one in October, and then we'll start again quarterly starting in January of 2024. And then the final thing, I lied, one more thing. The final thing is the relaunch of the Forest Park film strategy. As you know, right now, there's still an ongoing strike going on. So unfortunately, there's not a whole lot going on with our filming here in Forest Park, but it gives us an opportunity to really revisit our pricing. We are grossly underpricing ourselves in what we're collecting in fees, but also how we market right now. The way that we had been doing it, it was a little bit more passive, kind of put it out there and wait for people to find and call us. And so kind of trying to flip that narrative and do a little bit more of an aggressive push so people know that we are here. So that's all I have. Thank you very much. Any questions? I know I threw a whole bunch at you at one time. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you for that robust overview. One of the things that really stood out to me while you were speaking is how you were talking about working with those in the business license department. And I think it's really important for everyone to understand that while you each are your individual departments, you're not completely sovereign, and that there's the synergy that's amongst all of us. And when we operate as one, and that's how we truly move the city forward. Yeah, one Forest Park, exactly.
Okay, there it is. All right. All right, I'm Fire Inspector Oglesby, working Fire Marshal's office for the fire department. Since the time of the year is coming up, our burn ban will end October 1st. So, and also time change is a great time to come up with changing your smoke detector batteries. So we're just going to go over a little bit of information on the process. This just gives you, this thing's, all right, there we go. All right, so basically this gives you the idea of why the state of Georgia does a burn ban between May and October, and that's because of couldn't get it off.
It's okay.
So
It's okay.
But it just comes from the Georgia website. Basically, it causes dirty air. Okay. Causes pollutants in the air from the unburned particles when you have a fire. We already have a smog problem in Atlanta anyway. During the summer months, it just makes the air that much dirtier. And it can cause respiratory issues. So the information you need when you call in for a burn permit, you're going to need the name of the individual requesting the permit. Not always is that person the one to call. Maybe a language barrier or a neighbor calling for elderly person. You also need the phone number where somebody can be reached and the address where the burning will take place. I've had a lot of calls where neighbors will call and get a permit for their neighbor, and just need to make sure you have that address. All right, so each day the fire marshal's office determines whether it's permissible to burn or not. When we get in 8 o'clock in the morning from Monday through Friday, one of the personnel in the department will make a determine, yes, you can burn, or no, you can't. If you call the city's phone number, the 404-366-4720, when you get the extension 9004, there'll be a message whether you will be burning or you won't. And if you do, then it'll ring at either one of our desks, or if we're busy, not able to take a message, you can leave a message and one of us will get it through email. Like I said, I got something on the screen that I can't necessarily get off. So, but if it is burning, we're going to need that information. If you don't get one of us and have to leave voicemail, leave your name, number, the address, and that way we can call you back and we can get you a burn permit number. All right, and a couple of things to remember is it can be revoked at any time and for any reason. So say if we all of a sudden at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we start getting wind pickup that we didn't anticipate or that just came unexpectedly, we can actually revoke the license, have you extinguish the fire. The same rules for a burn pile in the yard is the same rules that goes with a burn barrel. Okay. This doesn't include warming fires or cooking fires. Those are permitted year round. All we ask is to be safe about it. All right, so the do's and don'ts. This is kind of the rules when it comes to the burn permits. Do have a water hose available and near the fire. Burn only small amounts at one time. It's limited to small limbs and leaves, so no burning tree stumps, no cutting trees down and burning huge logs. They tend to burn forever and they're hard to extinguish. If the fire gets out of control, please call 911. Do not hesitate. So the don'ts is do not leave the fire unattended. Somebody has to be there at all times. You cannot use any flammable liquids as an accelerant, as in using gasoline, lighter fluid, anything like that. You're not able to use that. And there's no burning after dark. So as soon as sun starts setting, you need to go ahead and extinguish the fire. All right, and like I said, coming up with the time change, it's a great way to remember when the time change. Go ahead and change the battery in your smoke detectors. The smoke detectors plays a vital role in surviving a fire incident within the home. Smoke alarm saves lives. Smoke alarms that are properly installed and maintained play a vital role in reducing fire deaths and injuries. And that's brought out of the NFPA, which is the National Fire Protection Agency. They're almost a regulatory, they set out standards and that the fire community and other organizations follow. All right, it's recommended to test your home smoke detector each month to ensure that they're working properly. The batteries in the smoke detector should be replaced twice a year. Therefore, daylight savings time is an excellent opportunity to remind yourself to replace the batteries in your smoke detectors at home. And the smoke detector should be changed itself if the manufacturer date's 10 years or greater. So on the back of it, it'll say your manufacturer date. If it's older than 10 years, go ahead and replace it. There are smoke detectors that have a 10-year battery life built into it. You can't change it. It doesn't take a 9-volt, it's built in. Once they die, you replace it. Okay. Anytime the smoke detector battery chirps, please change it. Those things are about irritating. So the chirp indicates the battery's weak and it may not function properly. Last thing you want to do is it not work in case of a fire. So if you need assistance changing the battery or installing smoke detectors, call the fire department. Again, you can reach us at the city phone number. And we can set up an appointment to come out and change your battery for you, install it for you. If you're able to, if you want to, you can swing by the fire station. So if you don't have a smoke detector in your home, please, if you can't afford to buy one, please stop by the fire station. You can either stop by and call, check the availability. Often we have the means to supply a free smoke detector to a resident. And it's limited to one smoke detector per floor. but you might want to call or swing by and check to see if we have them available. But if you can't afford it, please do that. Again, any questions or concerns, comments, feel free to call the fire department, and you'll call 404-366-4720. Use option number 9 and then option 2, and that'll get you to the fire marshal's office. Yes, ma'am.
I know you know, yeah. At the last meeting, our crime stats were down 10.5%. Since the last meeting, they've gone down to 3.5%. So that's a 7% decrease. One of the main culprits was higher crime rates was our entering autos. But what we did, we put some strategies in place. We made some key arrests that resulted in our entering autos dropping dramatically. And overall, like I said, the crime has gone down to 3.5%. So with that in mind, we want to continue with that downward trend. Keep in mind, when you all are out, make sure you don't have any valuables in clear view, any passerby. So if you have something, put it in your trunk, put it underneath your seat. So you don't want to entice anybody. Let's see what else we get. Onboarding. Since the last ward meeting, we actually onboarded 4 new employees. 2 were communication officers and 2 was police officers. We also had 2 recruits that graduated from the police academy. Recognition. We've continued to recognize our employees that have performed exceptionally well for a particular month. For the month of August, we had Officer Pete Thomas of Patrol receive the Officer of the Month award. We also had Sergeant Sparks, Specialized Assignments, receive Officer of the Month award. And we had a civilian employee, Yolanda Green, the Records Management Supervisor. She received Employee of the Month. As far as our community outreach, we completed our Citizen Police Academy on September the 5th. It was very successful. We had 13 graduates. We had a lot of fun, very informative. I hated to see it end. So I suggested to the chief, we start another one as soon as we can. So tell everybody, tell your neighbors. October 31st, Halloween, we starting right back up. So encourage people to come out. We're going to have fun, and we're going to have some different topics as well. I believe it was Monday. We had our Coffee with a Cop program. Very good turnout. The mayor came out. A lot of the citizens came out, chatted with us, all the officers that were there, the chief. Really good time, very informative. And we're looking forward to doing some more. That's all I have.
Any questions?
All right, thank you.
Oh, wait, there was one
Oh, one question.
Okay.
Oh, good question. 6 o'clock every Tuesday for 7 weeks. Y'all do that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
It's
All right.
open for employees.
Yes, we encourage the employees. I had a couple say they were on the come button. We'll get them on the next one.
Of course.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaShawn Gardner, the Director of Planning and Community Development. And some of the things I will go over this evening would be, number one, we are working on an RFP for the pedestrian bridge feasibility study. That's something that has been in the works for about 1.5 years now, but we were awarded $160,000 in funding from the ARC, and then our local match of $40,000, which brings that total to a total of $200,000. So that RFP is being worked on. We're also working on some amendments to the zoning ordinance as things arise that we see need to be adjusted. Another project that we're working on as diligently as we can is townhouses that are slated to come on Main Street. So we've been working with that developer to kind of get that project underway. Another thing I would like to say is that for any businesses that are looking to come into the city, We are the department that looks at the zoning aspect. So please ensure that you are getting a zoning verification, because that's the first step in actually get your business license to open your business. We are still making strides to become more digital so that some of our submittals, such as our permits, can be done electronically versus people having to come in person. And our development permits are things that pertain to anything from your plumbing and electrical work, things of installing a fence at times at your home, any type of renovations, additions to your homes, renovations with businesses, LDP permits. So, you know, you used to see this little slogan and little flag often saying, call before you dig with utility companies. Call or stop by the planning and community development department before you build or renovate at your home or business. Let's see. And actually, oh, one other thing. So we're still working on our 2023 comprehensive plan update. So far, we're actually coming down to the wire. We will be having our second public hearing probably near the end of October or the first week in November. The survey period for that process is for people engaging and providing feedback and comments. That survey has closed, but as of today, information, we had 499 views, 72 participants, 1,173 responses, 168 comments, and then 13 subscribers. And that's all I have for the planning and zoning department, planning and community development department. My colleague from code enforcement is not here, but I can just shed a little bit on what he's been doing. He's been working diligently to try to get out more community outreaches within the community. So they have visited now 2 wards. I think it was Ward 4 and Ward 5, where they were out in the community and just trying to engage with those members in the community and giving them information on you know, trying to see code enforcement as more of a partner to help them with things versus, you know, having a negative light on code enforcement. So I think that is something you know, that is good and needed. And as they continue the outreach efforts, I think they'll get more and more participants from the community to engage with them. And that's all I have.
Good evening, everyone. Just to let you guys know, we have a lot of things coming up this upcoming month. We have our Sip and Paint this Saturday. We still have about 6 seats available. It's selling out pretty fast. We have our Sip Paint. Just go by the Recreation Center and sign up. That's this Saturday at the Senior Center at 6 o'clock. It's open for pretty much all ages, 21 and older. So please make sure you get by and register for that. We also have our first tailgate of the season this Sunday. Our Falcons are 2-0 versus the Detroit Lions. That goes down at Star Park at 11 o'clock. So make sure you come on out, check out, and cheer on our Falcons. Next Saturday, September the 30th, we have our 5K. We're still doing registrations now up until Friday, so make sure you come out. We have a lot of participants, so make sure you register for the 5K. That's on September the 30th. Also, that same day, we have another tailgate. That's the Georgia versus Auburn, and we're also having a barbecue competition that same day. Also, this Saturday, if you're into soccer, please come out. Our soccer league kicks off this Saturday. Saturday morning at the baseball field. So make sure you come out and check out some good soccer. Just to let you know, every Tuesday, the Atlanta United is doing a soccer training camp with some of the kids within the community. That's a great program. It's sold out as far as a free program, and registration filled up within the first 3 days. So big kudos to the city of Forest Park and the South Side for having Atlanta United here in the city of Forest Park. October the 7th, we have a pop-up shop. So please make sure you register and come on out. If you got anything at home you're trying to sell or you're an entrepreneur, come by the Recreation Center and sign up for that. October the 14th, we have our Pink Panther Breast Cancer Walk. So we're coming out celebrating survivors and our breast cancer walk. So make sure y'all come by the center, register for that. It's free to walk, but if you want a t-shirt, it's $5 for the t-shirt, and you'll see some of our team members walking around the city with the breast cancer shirts on starting tomorrow. Besides that, that's pretty much everything we have going on. Once again, go to the city website, follow us on social media at City of Forest Park GA for all our upcoming events.
Oh, okay. So let me just say, it is an honor to serve as mayor of this great city. I like to say that progress is not simply just the word that you envision for onward momentum, but it is truly our destiny. But it also means a little bit more to me. Progress is an acronym that stands for political restoration, opportunity and growth for residential, economic, and social success. And so you literally can speak on each pillar independently. However, when they all work in unison, as with our departments, that is when true progress is achieved. And we have been able to accomplish so much in the last 6 years of this administration. And it is just exciting to know that we are truly on the cusp of a resurgence that is so historic, like no other. And to have all of you a part of it, to be a part of it, is really humbling in itself. And so I thank you all for what you do. You may not hear it very often, but just know that from the bottom of my heart, you are appreciated. Your efforts are not in vain. And it is because of you that this city is what it is, which is a magnificent, truly a magnificent city. So Ms. Dixon, thank you for putting this all together. Is there anything you want to say to close us out? All right, well, if all hearts and minds are clear, you don't have to go home, but you're getting up out of here. Thank you all so much, Councilwoman James. I hope I did you justice. Thank you.